ET Brand Equity presents ET Studio Market Equity videos powered by CleverTap, where industry leaders deep dive into the key market trends and opportunities that will shape the domain in the coming decade. I'm Shilpa Ratnam and welcome to our third session. We are going to be discussing personalizing every customer experience in real time. And to do that, we have Anand, Jain, co-founder and chief product officer of CleverTap, who's actually there. Hi Anand, hello.
Hi.
And we have Shamik, Banerjee, chief marketing officer, Apollo 24/7. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, the dawn of the digital age has made it easier for businesses to reach a global audience. However, today customers are no longer attracted to a mass marketing approach, and instead they want brands to engage with them on a personal level. They seek personalized solutions to all their queries and stay loyal to brands that create meaningful relationships with them based on their preferences, which evolve over time as they cross many milestones throughout their lives. But with this expanded reach comes the challenge of ensuring meaningful and personalized customer experiences. As a result, brands are now investing in technology to stand out, create personalized solutions and contextualize messages based on real-time user actions. With over 1 million weekly active users, Apollo 24/7 is revolutionizing the customer-obsessed care by guiding them through services and recommendations tailored to their needs and standing as a relevant partner for the customers by understanding their customers for life. Now, Anand, personalization has emerged as a buzzword in the industry, right? And everyone keeps talking about it. But what is the sort of importance that it has currently, and what sort of value is it adding real time or bottom line wise to brands?
I think you're right. Personalization is a buzzword, and everyone wants to say that, hey, we are personalizing everything, but it's truly not a buzzword. And personalization, actually, I've seen the results, and thankfully being on the other side, where we observe thousands of customers use CleverTap, we have seen that personalization actually helps improve loyalty. It helps improve trust. It helps the bottom line, whether it's customer lifetime value, which is forward looking, or whether it improves your retention. So what is personalization, right? Personalization is this one-on-one communication, one-to-one communication, where you feel that the brand is actually talking to you, and it happens with a whole lot of technology behind the scenes. But as an output, what you see is that user has been communicated at the right time, with the right message, on the right channel, and the right user. Sometimes you may not want to send a message, and that's the best message. It's okay. We know this person is going to come back and transact, or is going to come back and check out some videos or whatever, articles you may have, say, on healthcare, and we have to leave the person alone. So sometimes the best strategy is also to not engage. So that, to me, is all personalization.
That's very interesting. Sometimes, personalization is to not engage as well, right? Because you don't want that sort of constant bombardment.
Correct.
And Apollo 24/7 being a leading healthcare provider, how are you leveraging the power of personalization? And what exactly does personalization look like in your sector?
I represent the healthcare space, and here personalization is a very sensitive topic, right? Because we have to be absolutely empathetic and very, very, very responsible to make sure we communicate something personalized. We just can't say that you are having X ailments or that problem, right? We have to be absolutely precise. That's the first part of it in personalization. And to do that, we have been investing on our platform for over the last 10 years, right? Apollo 24/7 is built on 90 million data of Indians who has touched Apollo over the last few years. Now, what we have done is we have created a two-way sort of a process, because it's a part of something called CRM, customer relationship management, right? It is not customer revenue management. It's not customer transaction management. It's a relationship, and relationship is two-way. I need to ask you, you need to answer me, I need to react on that, right? And that's a relationship. So for us to personalize, we are creating something called Ask Apollo, and it is already there on 24/7, and we'll be bringing it to the much more audience of this country, which is built on over 5 million data sets, where we actually tracked how customers question or answer and how a doctor questions and answers. And based on algorithm, we try to predict what can be the possible solution that I need to give you, right? That is about 99.9% right now. And each of our Apollo doctors has started to use it about a year back. It's called Clinical Intelligence Engine.
Wow.
So when they are seeing a patient, they always consult that also, because that makes them much more efficient, much more precise. Because in healthcare, it's not about efficiency, it's about preciseness, it's about correctness, it's about that empathy. So that's where how we look at personalization.
You know, they always say never Google your symptoms, but now you're offering a way where people can go back to the internet and actually see what's happening.
You should
so
ask
that's
Apollo.
great. You should ask Apollo, don't ask Google. Well, Anand, what are the key metrics that brands should focus on while driving engagement with personalization?
Yeah, I think in this healthcare space, the most important metric is trust. I don't know, but if there is a way to measure trust, you would be measuring that. And maybe the way to measure trust is, do these people come back to my brand? And I think that's the most important thing. In other places, we have seen customer lifetime value as like a very key metric. A lot of brands use this as a North Star. And again, depending upon your business model, depending upon whether you are subscription or transaction, or like a financial services or gaming, there could be different things. But in the end, it boils down to, like I was saying, how many users come back, that means they are loyal, etc. And from this loyalty drives every other business metric, right? You can go super deep into this, but I think the easiest thing is customer lifetime value derived from retention rates.
It's interesting, Anand, we talk about customers, we talk about users. When it comes to healthcare, I wonder, there must be a specific term. Is it patients?
People call it patient, but in Apollo, what we believe is that anyone who comes to Apollo, he believes in Apollo. We call them believers. And we always refer to them as believers of us, because they do bring with and they trust us the most when they need us the most.
That makes absolute sense, and that's a great term, believers. Yeah. Now, Shamik, what role does data analysis play here when it comes to personalization?
Very important, very, very important, because when a doctor also sits with a patient, he analyzes the data he has. That's what it's called, doctor's practice. It's not their profession, right? It's practice, because they keep on getting more and more data, right? Now, in healthcare, the problem of data is that it's mostly unstructured. It's either a photograph, either a X-ray plates, either a sonography video. It's mostly unstructured. So it's extremely critical for us to, first of all, break down the unstructured data and bring it to a sort of a place where I can analyze. So we have built up that for as I said, the Ask Apollo is a subset of that, where we built up this data lake, right, of these people. Now, once we have that data, then you have to topple up with those analytical models, right? Those are done with the end solutions in mind. How can I add value to our relationships, right? If I have to add a value to a relationship in some way, then what analysis we do? It's not that we do analysis and then give a reply. We do the analysis to solve a problem, and that's what the analysis role is in our overall customer relationship.
Very interesting. I would also love to hear from Anand your take on this. How do you feel data plays a role here?
Yeah, I mean, I'll build up on what he said, but in a more broader context. When we started CleverTap, the goal was to provide analytics not as an end in itself, but something that leads to an action. What good is insights or analytics, if you can't go and improve them, right? So I think we build the platform such that, one, it's you can throw as much data into it, as much as you want, there are no practical limits. And then all of this is available to you in real time to analyze, to segment, to personalize, to run your marketing automation at scale. And we have seen the results, the phenomenal companies who are at the forefront of using this, have and in their heart, they are a data-driven practice, have seen phenomenal, improvement in their business metrics.
Yeah, finally seeing the patterns that were always there, right?
Correct.
Right
Yes.
in front of them. Now, Shamik, what are some of the customer journeys or campaigns that have determined the success of your personalization efforts?
No, I agree, because when we were setting this 24/7 up, and we were shopping all around to figure out that those use cases, who can provide the solution. I think we actually went to CleverTap, and after I think we saw the entire world, because we want to create something for the future. And I think it has really played a superb role in terms of giving a shape to our dreams. So that's now it is integrated across. So how you want to see leverage the brand is always about your end results, right? What you want to do at the end, right? What you want to solve the problem for. So in our way of doing things is always about keep the hypothesis at the front, keep the solutions at the front, keep the end results at the front, and then see what you need to do. Right? These are all enablers, right? You will not become first in class if you have a good calculator. You better know maths, right? So you have to first know maths and then use calculator, and that's what we do. But you need a good calculator.
Yeah,
you can't
this
give
is
wrong
true.
results. So that's very important for us.
That's a great example. I should have known that before. Now, how do the two of you see brands using personalization more and more and leveraging it, especially in the coming times? Would you like to come in, Anand?
Yeah, I can go first. I think we are, it used to be like batch and blast back in the days where you did not have enough data points, right? I will go back to 80s, and this has nothing to do with marketing automation, but in the US, people would distribute flyers based on your zip code, and then as data technologies improved, all the data, you started getting some of the data. It was largely demographic, male, female, or maybe just treating you by your first name, etc. level of personalization. And fast forward to now, there is so much data in there, which helps become this central nervous system, where you have all this data in one place. And not only are you just sending messages to personalize, but you can also predict what someone is going to do. And I think, to me, one of the things or the future of personalization is the ability to predict. If I knew that you're going to do something and I can proactively offer you that would be the best way to personalize, because it's like a great friend who knows me very well and who knows what I'll be doing this Friday evening, right? So I think that is the future of personalization.
Okay, so that's the way you see the innovation going on the side of service providers.
That is correct.
All right. And how would you like to see it go? As a client, what would you want to see? What sort of direction would you like to see personalization go?
Yeah, in any business, there are two objectives, right? One objective is to win a transaction. Right? That's the ultimate truth, because if you don't win a transaction, revenue never comes to you. Second is to create value relationships, so that next time also he comes to give you that opportunity for transaction.
Yes.
In both these times, right, personalization is very, very important. And that starts from knowing your customer, knowing your patient, knowing your believer. Who is he? What life stage is he in, right? In my healthcare space. And it's for every business, I believe. If you know, you can build that value for him. And then when he's coming onto the transaction, right, in the new world, when he's built the cart and waiting for the payment to happen, he can jump out, because for him it's a tab, right? You don't have to go from one shop to the other, you just have to change the screen. But to make sure he don't jump on that cart, you have to win that transaction. And the transaction winning potential or the probability is far higher if you build that value through personalization. And that's what it's a very critical role, right? So it's your efficiency, your spend, your CAC, your things. I think with CleverTap also we have seen quite a substantial amount of gain in terms of how each of the other, the downstream metrics works. And I think it was a great revolution.
Absolutely, that small distance between add to cart and buy now.
It's a huge distance.
It really is. It's a huge
distance.
Exactly. It just buttons close to each other, but it's a whole journey between the two. And it's been fantastic talking to the two of you. You both have many more sessions coming up, so I do have to let you go. It's been a very healthy chat. And to watch our other sessions, such as the one with Nakul Kapoor of MX Player, or of course, a marketing guru, Scott Brinker, do watch ET Brand Equities, ET Studio Mart Equity videos. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.